Trinity Church has long been an active and vital part of the growing and dynamic community of Papillion. Through the years, this church has thrived here, even reaching into surrounding communities. What started as a small group in a home has now included 4 locations and 6 building projects. Through this, we have grown to become one of the largest congregations in our denomination. As we continue our mission of connecting people to Christ, we are excited about the future God has prepared for us. Trinity's mission has a firm foundation in the Great Commission. It is this commission that calls us to go and make new disciples. We take this command so seriously, our methods and facility have been developed to allow us to fulfill this calling. Our worship experiences and ministries are designed to help each one of us reach our one. We all have people in our lives for whom we care deeply, but who are not yet in a relationship with Jesus Christ. Here at Trinity Church, we call this person our one. By dedicating ourselves to doing life with this important person, we are providing our one with every opportunity to be connected to Christ. Standing firm in the unchanging message of the gospel, we have witnessed the effectiveness of adapting our ministry to a changing culture. Our congregation is attracting younger families, while the older generations remain, graciously offering their wisdom and support. Our ministries, including Trinity Kids, Trinity Preschool, and Trinity Students, offer joyful, Christ-centered experiences to teach the youngest in our midst the story of Jesus and what that means for their lives today. I think it is especially exciting to be part of God's movement in the life of another human being. Think about those times when guests first encounter Trinity and discover our community, and then God gives us the opportunity to walk alongside them as they grow into being active followers of Jesus. As I dream about our future, I think of many stories that have motivated and challenged my heart. Let me share a few. 2 years ago, a young woman came to Trinity at the invitation of a good friend. Her life had been turned upside down when she realized that her husband's commitment to their marriage and family was very different from hers. In just a few short months, she found herself single again. She continued to worship at Trinity as she worked persistently to heal her heart. God then brought a wonderful new man into her life, and they bonded quickly. The baptism of their precious daughter was a testimony to God's healing grace and a hopeful future. Families like this are the future for the church as we grow together and reach out with the love of Christ to those who need exactly what the church has to offer. Last year, a Trinity member's neighbor family became her one. With gentle encouragement over a period of months, this family accepted an invitation to church. Participation was sporadic at first, but eventually grew to be very consistent. Through sharing life together and pointing toward the difference faith makes in life, the ultimate result was that this friend's children trusted in Jesus and were baptized at Trinity. They were very active until being relocated by the military. I believe that what started here will have an impact in their new assignment as they reach out to their one. On our first Sunday in the new building, a grandmother and granddaughter came to worship. They had been looking forward to visiting this new church in their neighborhood. I had the chance to visit with them before the service. The enthusiasm in their voices and eyes was clear encouragement for a great future in our new location. Each of these are real people whose lives have been forever changed because of the work God is doing in and through us.
Hi, my name is Jeff. I've been here at Trinity for just a little over a year. You know, growing up, I grew up in a Lutheran church in a rural area south of town, near Otto was where I grew up. I can remember the preacher that I grew up with had a very heavy, strong German accent, and he preached the hellfire and brimstone, the punishment side of Christianity. You know, if you don't do this, if you don't, hell awaits, Actually, I just recently moved into Omaha. I've worked in the Omaha area for 25 years. I've got my daughters are on the other end of town. They're in Bellevue. And my son moved up here, and they decided it was time for Dad to to move to Omaha too. Long story short, my son and I were talking about finding a church, and he had gone to several, and I've talked to several people, and we just didn't make the connection. He came here, actually to the one down the street, and said, "Dad, I think you should come." And yeah, from the moment I walked in the door, it's been great. It's just a feel of belonging, even through the COVID. It's just a really good feeling. And I believe in the connecting people to Christ, because that's what we have to do. I mean, we have to be connected, or it's just not there. And I feel as though that is a good way of explaining Christianity. Trinity has helped me realize how important corporate worship is just to the soul. And like I say, I knew that was missing in my life, but it was such a burden at times. You think in your head. There was times where, it's just something you have to do. But I don't think it's something we have to do. I think it's something now that you want to do, because you know what it means. I just have been blessed that I found this place. I think a lot of times I tell my kids and a buddy of mine, the closer I get to God, the closer I get to God. I mean, I would like for them to hear more about our faith than from me. And I think this is the message to hear, the connecting to Christ, and making us what we should be and what God wants us to be. Like I say, I wasn't a very good example at times in their learning years, but I would like for them to and have the feeling of peace inside, that knowing what Christ has done for me, and have them feel that too.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I've been here at Trinity for 46 years. I was baptized in the Lutheran Church as a 1-month-old baby, and grew up with my family in the Lutheran religion. Growing up, I always knew Jesus from way little, but I really think when I got to Trinity and really became a part of this Trinity community is when I really felt like Jesus was really there. Probably the most important thing about Trinity that I love is that it always has tried to meet you and meet people where they're at. For example, when I came here in 1975, probably the way it happened was that members reached out to us, neighbors. My neighbor happened to be Val Christensen, who was a longtime member here. The first thing she did was come across the street in her wheelchair to just get acquainted. Of course, we talked about Trinity just being a block down the street. She invited me to church, and within a day, Pastor Lorenzen walked up the block and knocked on the door and invited us to come to Trinity. I guess because of my personality, I'm from a very shy person to what I am today. I probably have a lot of people that I just keep having my one kind of thing with. I have found that sometimes you don't have to necessarily talk about religion, but it's the way you're living your life, and it's the things that come out of your mouth that came from your faith. I think what motivates me to invite people to church is that I know what I have, being a follower of Jesus. I know what peace, what love, and I want that for other people.
Hi, my name is Riley, and I've been at Trinity for 3 years. I came to Trinity through a high school friend, and he invited me to Bible study, like a youth Bible study. At first, I was hesitant because it's a different denomination, and I was like, I don't know about that. But after talking with family, it just felt good. It felt good to get back into church, to get back into just worshiping God and building that relationship that I didn't have for 4 or 5 years. So, and after accepting Christ, the conviction was something that just continuously popped up. We're all broken people, and so I was living a life of sin, living a life that I wasn't proud of personally, and that just wasn't serving Christ and leading others to Christ. It's so much more than just coming to church on Sundays, but it's how you live your life outside of church as well. I found my faith through this program, and just to serve and to give back, and to lead others closer in their relationship with Christ. For me, is so important, because without Christ we don't go to heaven. So it's really important. It's a really important thing that I just want to spread that message to everybody, spread the message of the gospel. We're called to reach out to others and guide them in their relationship with Christ. And so I think it's important to, find somebody in your life that is a non-believer and even just bring them to church on Sunday, or introduce them to the Bible, read with them. My sister is my one, and it's been really inspiring. Over the last couple years, there wasn't a lot of momentum building, and recently actually she's reached out to me after me reaching out to her, saying, hey, I want to learn more about this Jesus guy. I want to learn more about that. And we've been doing a little Bible study every week, and currently we're in Matthew, just kind of learning the basis. She's learning the basis of who Jesus is. So yeah, it's been really good.
Trinity Church is just getting started here in our new building. I like to think of it as our mission outpost. This idea comes from Nebraska's history. When a new territory was settled, an outpost was built as a base where people gathered to receive resources, be equipped, and then were sent out to settle the new territory. Thinking of Trinity as a mission outpost, we come together to grow and be strengthened in faith, and then we are sent out to live and share our faith, connecting people to Christ. Living our God-given mission at this level does not come without sacrifice. Christians reflect Jesus' life, which was a life of sacrifice. As a church, we have sacrificed to get to this point of being together in one location. As we move forward, there are 2 ways that I'm calling each of you to partner with your church family in sacrifice once again. The first is to ask God to show you your one. I'm asking you to make a commitment to pray regularly for this special person and to share your life with this individual. The second is to graciously make a generous financial commitment toward our future mission. Our church leadership has been dreaming of new and unique ways to position Trinity for success so that our facility is available for the God-given opportunities to build new bridges with those around us who need to meet Jesus. Here is what we have planned. First, we will create a new development fund, which will allow us to continue developing the property to pave the way for partnerships with schools, organizations, and individuals with whom we desire to work in new mission. The possibilities for our outpost in this area are enormous. Second, we will pay down the mortgage costs as quickly as possible to allow the dollars that would have gone toward interest to be used on our mission and outreach. While the new building costs are manageable, our general fund dollars need to be available for the work of our existing ministry. We will not limit these vital ministries and the potential programs that will help us live out our mission. This means that everyone who calls Trinity Church home is needed. Our leadership has set a goal of $1.2 million to turn these 2 goals into reality. This may seem big, but we believe our God never calls us to something that He will not equip us to accomplish. And nothing is too big for our God. We are embarking on a 3-year journey called Go. In order to help us raise the funds needed to achieve these goals, and keep spurring us on toward connecting our ones to Christ. As a church, we will come together on Sunday, May 2nd, to worship and to commit our relational and financial investments to God. This is a big step for each of us, and I am asking that you begin praying about it now. Seek God's guidance in how He desires for you to be a part of this exciting and forward-looking challenge. Trinity, together we can do this, but it will require something from each of us. Whether large or small, your participation matters. Will you take this big step? Will you commit to our mission as Trinity opens the doors to go out into our community? With these additional resources and our renewed focus for the lost, we know that God will lead us into the next season of ministry. Your commitment will allow us to be ready to open our doors to those who are looking for connection and the life change only Jesus can provide.